This is Greg Remke, and I wanted to share some ideas on the economics of the agricultural policy and food safety debate topic for STOA students. This is a video designed for students at ethos debate camps who attended the Seattle camp or will attend one of the upcoming camps. I can't be at all the programs, but I'm doing a workshop, 90-minute, 2-hour workshop at a number of those, giving an overview of the economics of the resolution. So the camps are held around the country this summer, and I appreciate the opportunity to add economics to the ethos instruction, classical rhetoric, modern technique. You learn debate strategies as well as the core competencies key for high school debate, homeschool debate. Economic thinking is designed to give you some background on the topic, as well as for parliamentary debate, extemp a broad range of things. But economic principles, I'm going to argue, help you understand the sort of the core interplay of different aspects of the topic. And this is particularly important for the agriculture and food safety topic. So, economic thinking, the group I direct runs fall workshops around the country where we have more time to go in depth than a one-day seminar. If you're interested in those, please get in touch with us. We've had these for maybe 5,000 students over the last 10 years. We have posts on the topic, on the economics of agricultural policy and some of the history as well as food safety at STOA Resolutions, economicthinking.blogspot, and we may move that to a new location, but we'll have a link here. Also, we have a full online version of our one-day workshops and an expanded sort of economics course that's tied in with the debate topic for homeschool students that want to get economics credit, for example, as well as research the topic. So our workshops, we have books, articles, videos. We recommend even a TV show. One episode of Green Acres is particularly good. But the idea is to understand economic principles and learn how to apply them with the topic. Then I mentioned we have a blog spot where we have articles on different aspects of the topic, and then our Economics in a Cloud is where we have the online courses. So first let me argue that as with the Asia trade policy topic that STOA students had last year, agricultural policy is driven by special interests and special interest groups. So in the agriculture topic, you have corporate farms and trade associations that represent wheat growers, corn, cattle industry, dairy. And each of these associations of producers have a vested interest in helping their own business and their association. So peanut growers, they want to have protection against imported peanuts. They want to have subsidies for agriculture. Not all of them, but generally farmers want those policies that benefit their particular farm. And in the U.S. system, only some crops have federal government involvement. People growing vegetables and fruit, orchardists and so forth don't have much involvement. The market works, so people provide, grow apples, run an orchard, sell the apples, and things work fine. But in certain crops, wheat, corn, cotton, major crops, the federal government has been deeply involved, at least since the New Deal, and actually before that in some crops, having to do with price collapses after World War I and World War II. So the argument here is the policies that allow the federal government to intervene and provide subsidies, price supports, subsidize irrigation, those programs excite interests, special interests. The founders called those factions. The founders were concerned that if the federal government were to get involved in the economy, it would excite factions who would lobby for government benefits and sort of attack each other through the government. This is why the Constitution generally limited government involvement in the economy, but the New Deal sort of overturned those limitations. That's simplifying, but that's the general story. Most of the New Deal interventions in the U.S. economy have gone away, with the exception of agriculture. Public choice economics is a field in economics that focuses on politics, on the way government runs, whereas often economics is considered about business, about people providing goods and services and people demanding them and the supply and demand in the marketplace. Public choice economics, or constitutional economics, looks at the way economic principles of incentives and information and special interest focus and direct government policy. The benefits of legislative interventions, as in agriculture, are concentrated and the costs are diffuse. So those concentrated groups that benefit lobby government for more support, more protection. Those that are hurt, which are diffused throughout the economy, they generally don't lobby. So peanut policies help peanut growers. They raise the price of peanuts and peanut butter, but the money that the peanut growers get is large. The cost to the consumers is sort of spread out, and $5-10 a year for peanut butter. Sugar policies benefit concentrated sugar growers, as well as the corn syrup industry, and therefore the corn industry. But those policies hurt the public, but not that much. So we pay a bit more for candy bars, a bit more for sugar because of the status quo. Most people aren't going to march on Washington to get slightly cheaper candy, but the sugar industry will. The leading sugar producers, two brothers, one donates hundreds of thousands to the Democrats each year, the other hundreds of thousands to the Republicans, and their goal is to keep out foreign sugar. That's been our sugar industry has been protected since at least the Cuban Revolution. So public choice economics helps you understand the dynamics of that, where it comes from, and how it affects legislation. Interventionist dynamics is another way of looking at these interventions, particularly in agriculture, that they have unintended consequences. When the federal government steps in to put price supports on wheat, that leads to a dramatic increase in wheat production. Then the federal government steps in and tries to limit who can produce wheat and how much. And that's what the Green Acres episode is about, where it turns out in the 60s and 70s, you had to get a permit from the federal government to plant wheat or to increase your wheat production. Similarly, the peanut industry used to be you used to need a government permit to grow peanuts. In the dairy industry, cheese industry, there were price supports that led to overproduction of cheese, led to millions of tons of cheese being stored in caves under St. Louis. Peanut subsidies also end up bankrupting peanut farmers in Haiti, because we're currently dumping excess peanuts onto the Haitian farmers. That benefits the consumers temporarily in Haiti, but by bankrupting peanut farmers, Haitians are worse off after the first surge of the U.S. surplus is gone. So there's a whole range of interventions that are costly to taxpayers, costly to consumers, restrict the freedom of farmers, and most of the benefits go to a small number of farmers, often corporate farms, who are accused of farming the subsidies. So you have an opportunity as debaters this year to remove these programs or to reform them.